Hi, I'm Dave.
And I'm Jen. And welcome once again to Dave and Jen Ignite. Have you ever stood in line to get that last Tickle Me Elmo, or the latest craze in the Cabbage Patch Kids, or the newest Xbox game, only to be trampled underfoot as you're racing to get that for your child? Well, we're going to share with you today how to not get trampled in the Christmas rush. But before we get too far along, I'd like to share a story with you, one that I'm not necessarily proud of, where I was caught up, unfortunately, in that Christmas rush and all the demands of the season. We have a really neat Charlie Brown Christmas nativity set, and it's plastic. The pieces are rubber, and the kids and grandkids can play with them. Mostly the grandkids play with this, and they can put it together and they can reenact the story, and it's wonderful. Well, I was trying to get the house ready for something, and I had one of my grandsons here, and all of a sudden, we couldn't find Jesus. Now, granted, Jesus is this little itty bitty manger with wood stock in it, so easily could have been misplaced. Well, I was searching everywhere, and he was helping me search, and the longer I searched, the more angry I got. Where is he? What did you do with Jesus? Where is he? We lost Jesus. I said, go sit in timeout. Just go sit in timeout. Of course, bless his heart, he's just sitting in timeout going, what are you doing, you crazy, crazy woman? Well, finally, I found the baby Jesus in the manger right where I had left him. And oh boy, did I feel awful. My grandson was not the one that lost Jesus that day. It was me. I lost total focus on what was really important. And that can happen to all of us. And we want to help you by some of our stories and some of the lessons that we have learned to be able to not lose sight of what's truly important.
And so let's focus on what really is important about this Christmas season so that we don't get trampled in the Christmas rush. And there is a Christmas rush. We all feel that.
We do, yes.
And so whether it's parties at the office, parties at houses, friends, etc., lots of rush, lots of things, lots of activities, shopping, last minute shopping, all of that kind of stuff.
You don't rush to do that, so sorry.
It's okay. Lots of activities, whatever those activities may be. So, wait a minute. Where is Jesus? Mm-hmm. What have I done that I have lost Jesus? And that's not, any one particular person of us. It's easy to happen on a daily basis. And so we have to give concentrated focus to making sure to keep Jesus. I mean, the season is called Christmas, Christmas. Yes. We want to keep Jesus as the focal point. Mm-hmm. And if we'll keep him as the focal point, then we don't get trampled so much because we're not in the way. We're not in the midst of that. We're not caught up in all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. He's the one who can get us back on target, back in focus. And I just want to say one of the best things for me anyway, and I think for probably many of us, is to make sure and take time to read the scriptures and pray. I think there's a benefit also to just spending some time outdoors. I think God's creation helps to get us focused back on what's really important. Mm-hmm. But whether you can be outdoors or not, scriptures and prayer. Just take some time. And whether your scripture reading plan is, okay, beginning December 1st, I start reading the Christmas story, or whatever it may be. Maybe you're still reading in the Old Testament, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but just that's where you were. And so just continue reading the scriptures there in the Old Testament. Just make sure and staying focused, taking time to slow down. And we've talked before in some other videos. We'll link a couple videos below about how to, find time to read the scriptures when you're busy and all those things. But take the time, set aside the time. Otherwise, you can get trampled in the midst of this beautiful season and miss out. Mm-hmm. And we don't want to do that. We don't want to miss out. He is the Prince of Peace. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And let him bring you peace in this time. So keep him the center. Let him be the focus.
Absolutely. And it is very, very easy to get caught up in the busyness of the season because there are demands, that there are things that the kids are doing at school, or that, as he already mentioned, office parties or family gatherings. And it's easy to get caught up, but honestly, most of those things are within our own control.
Yes.
We can decide, all right, family time, of course, should always be a priority. We're firm believers in that, and I'm sure that most of you are too. Make sure that those things come first and foremost. But also, keep in mind that this is not a competition for how busy we might be. It's not. And unfortunately, we get caught up in that. How you doing? Well, I have this, and this to do. Oh, I have this, and this to do. It's really kind of sad. And it doesn't, that busyness competition factor doesn't happen just during the holiday seasons, but it seems to be more pronounced during that time. And we're not setting a very good example for our kids and our grandkids if we're constantly in a rush. Hurry up. We got to get this and got to get that done. We're so busy. I have heard little kids say, I've just been so busy. And I thought, wait a minute, where did they hear that? And I think that we do a disservice to them by not making sure that they know what is truly important and how to prioritize things, because they're going to learn that. They're going to learn our lingo. They're going to learn everything on those realms from us. And so we want to make sure and set a good example and just pare it down, pull in the reins a little bit and decide those things that are truly important. And not that they're bad. None of these things are usually a bad thing to do, but you just have to choose and prioritize, and let that be a great example to those around you.
Yeah. And of course, our channel is all about, helping stir up an interest, desire, and action for those who are new or renewed in their walk with Jesus Christ through faith, family, and fun. Mm-hmm. So, family needs to be a good priority here. And again, we would think that would be almost an automatic. Yeah, we're going to go here. We're going to go here, but I understand that sometimes there are folks who have 2 or 3 Christmases they go to.
Yeah, that's true.
Pull it back in. Family, slow it down. We do Family Christmas on the 3rd Saturday of December. Mm-hmm. That's just something we've set as a time because we were getting lost. Trampled is probably a good word there too.
I'm just trying to figure out a time when we could all get together.
Yeah. And you got 3 families.
Right.
Us, our son and daughter-in-law, and our daughter, and the children. We've got to set a time. We've got to make it a priority. And here's another piece to that. Don't schedule a whole lot else that day.
Right.
That's your day to be together.
That's right. Yeah.
Just make that. It's okay to just take an entire day, or at least the vast majority of a day, and focus on being together. Well, we don't know what to do when we get together. We don't know how to talk or whatever. Well, let's redevelop that skill.
Play games.
Yeah, play games. We like to play games.
We don't ever have problems. We always have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
But
I know that there are some folks who that might be a bit of a challenge for. Where we sit around and look at each other. Maybe we'll make a video on suggested games or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But taking the time and just being together. You have to have time together to continue to develop your relationships, even as a family.
Right.
And also with your friends, but especially as a family. Get some time together. And so that third Saturday in December is one of those times for us.
And we just set that aside, and we all do it, and it's not a big deal because we just know that that's a priority, and we do it, and we're very grateful for that. It's a big blessing. One of the things that we did as I was growing up, on Christmas Eve, we'd go to Christmas Eve service, which was always wonderful. But when we would come home, my father and my mother, who I'm so grateful were Christ followers, would have us read the Christmas story directly from Luke chapter 2. And it was so cool because as we got older, going through grade school, whichever of the 4 of us kids had recently learned to read would have the privilege of reading that Christmas story. And that just was wonderful to me. And hearing your kids, hearing your grandkids read from the Bible, oh boy, what a joy that is. So that was just a memory that I have that I'm so grateful for that because it still means a lot to me now.
And that's something else you can plan for. And I'm the planner, pretty much.
He's definitely the planner. I'm the partier. Woo! Surprise!
Pretty much. So anyway, I'm the planner. I can plan out, the whole month and this and this. And sometimes we hit a few bumps in the road there because we plan on top of each other. Yeah. And we have to just be careful about overscheduling even here, the 2 of us. Mm-hmm. But I'm the planner. So plan some things that make sure and keep Jesus as the why.
Right.
Because he is the phrase, Jesus is the reason for the season. It's true.
It is.
You may think it's quaint or trite or whatever, but it really is true. Yes. And we can do that. We can keep him as the focal point, the birth of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, as being the focal point there. And use whatever gifts and talents and skills you have to make sure that stays in place. My bent is planning. Jennifer's is a little more on the party side.
The party side, but also including fun and songs and games, and even those. We have this great game. It's called Travel to Bethlehem, and it is wonderful. The kids love playing it, and it's fun. It's really fun. It's funny too, but it's another great way to just get kids involved and help them to know the joy of a season as well.
Yeah, we'll probably try to link something
Sure.
below for that particular game as well. So here's your question for the day, at least one of the questions, and that is, who's the planner in your house? And talk to each other. Because if you're the planner, you need to make sure and communicate with the other person about the plans you think you're making and see what kind of plans they may have, because it may not be that. Or I will admit, it's hard for me to admit this, but I will admit that sometimes I'm so set on planning and I can plan a tight schedule. I mean, I can schedule it pretty tight. You may need to talk with your significant other about, let's not plan it so tight.
Right.
Let's leave a little more space. The word that gets used sometimes is called margins. Let's leave some margins in there so that there's some give and take. So who is the planner in your house?
And then just another question, if you wouldn't mind sharing these in the comments below as well. Have you found something to be helpful to you in order to keep focused on Christ during this busy season? Share those with us. We'd love to learn.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to add one last bonus question.
Oh, the bonus question.
Bonus question. What's your favorite Christmas game to play?
Oh, Christmas game. Ooh, and then a bonus question. What is your favorite Christmas carol?
Great questions. Please put those in the comments below. If you like the video, please click like, subscribe, click the bell, and get those notifications. And we'll just look forward to being with you again sometime very soon. And until then, I'm Dave.
I'm Jen, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.